May mga nakita kang magandang rental property pero hindi mo alam kung alin doon ang magandang bilhin. Yan ang pag-uusapan natin dito sa video na to. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Ang topic natin for today is how to choose a good rental property. Madalas kasi may nagpapakonsult sa akin at nalilito sila. Meron daw sila nakitang 2, 3 apartments and condominium at hindi nila alam kung alin dito yung magandang bilhin for rental income. Balak nilang bumili ng property para paupahan pero hindi nila alam ano ba yung best option for them. But before we go to our discussion, I hope ay nakasubscribe na kayo sa ating YouTube channel, youtube.com/readytoberichyt and nakafollow sa ating Facebook page, facebook.com/readytoberich. And with that, let's proceed. When you're buying a rental property, there are 4 things that you need to research. And I hope you do have the patience and persistence to know these numbers because these are very important as you will see later on. The easiest probably among them is to know the total contract price. Or in other words, magkano ba lahat talaga yung ilalabas mo? Magkano yung presyo or yung price nung binibili mong property? Since itong property na to ay i-prepare mo para iparenta, may mga tao na ang gusto nila yung property nila unfurnished, may mga ang gusto ay semi-furnished, and meron din mga nagpaparenta na fully furnished yung unit nila. So with that consideration also, you need to determine magkano yung magagastos mo para i-prepare naman yung unit for occupancy para sa mga tenants mo. So that's the second thing. You need to estimate how much would be the expenses to make the unit ready for occupancy. Minsan, kailangan mo pang i-redesign, may small renovations, and probably, yun nga, bibili ng mga basic furnitures para maganda naman yung itsura ng unit pag pinakita mo sa mga potential tenants. The next number that you need to research is the average monthly rent in the area. Magkano ba yung usual na price ng upa dun sa lugar mo? If you're planning to buy an apartment and planning to rent that out, you ask around dun sa area, probably dun sa subdivision or dun sa town mo, magkano ba ang usual or going rate ng mga apartments? If you're planning to rent out a 2-bedroom condominium unit, magtanong ka rin, no? Magkano ba yung usual rent ng 2-bedroom unit doon sa same condo project? Huwag tayo basta-bastang maniniwala sa i-feed sa atin na information lalo na ng mga real estate agent. It's important na meron din tayong sariling na research na numbers. Minsan kasi sasabihin nung nagbebenta sa'yo, ang usual na renta dito 20,000 pesos a month. Pero baka mamaya yung 20,000 na yun, dati pa yon. So i-research mo sa mga online listings, pwede ka rin mag-shout out sa social network mo na meron ba kayong kilala na nag-rent dito sa area na to, magkano usually yung rent nila. Baka mamaya, instead of 20,000, 15,000 na lang pala yung going rate kasi masyado ng maraming unit, medyo competitive yung market, kaya bumababa yung rental price. The last number that you need to find out, which is, admittedly, ito yung pinakamahirap hanapin, is yung average vacancy rate of the area. Yung rental property mo, especially at the start or kapag may umalis na tenant, hindi naman bigla ang napapalitan kagad or may nagre-rent kagad. There are several areas na mataas ang vacancy rate, meaning konti lang yung nagre-rent, pero may mga areas din na talagang in demand yung mga property. Mataas yung demand, maraming gusto mag-rent doon sa area na yon. Kaya usually ang vacancy rate nila very low, mga 5% lang or even lower. By default, in the Philippines, ang na-research ko na number is 20%. So sabihin natin sa 12 months of the year, probably mga 9 to 10 months lang merong tenant. Yung 2 months, probably bakante. Or you can also look at it as pag may umalis na tenant, it will take you around 2 to 3 months before makahanap ng kapalit sa kanya. But again, depende ito sa area, kanya-kanyang vacancy rate, yung mga different cities, different towns, and different locations. So you can either ask around or do some research sa City Hall, ask the real estate or property office if they have such numbers. But if you're really finding it hard to discover ano ba yung vacancy rate or alternatively occupancy rate ng mga rental properties in the location where you're planning to buy the rental property, you can just, for now, make it 20%. Now, let's proceed to an example. So, which among these 3 studio units is the best rental property? Our first property is in Mandaluyong. Ang total contract price niya is 7 million pesos. Yung unit, kapag inayos mo, you would probably spend another 40,000 pesos para i-prepare siya for rental. Yung average monthly rent in that area is 30,000 pesos a month. And the average vacancy rate is 20%. 20% of the time, walang nakatira dun sa unit mo. This is our studio unit in Mandaluyong. The second unit that you're considering to buy is in Makati. The total contract price of the Makati studio unit is 9.5 million. So, mas mahal sa Makati. Yung expenses para maging ready for occupancy na siya is 20,000 pesos. Wala ka na masyadong aayusin sa kanya. The average monthly rent is also higher, 40,000 pesos per month. So, mas mataas or mas mahal yung total contract price mo, pero mas mataas mo rin naman siya pwedeng iparent. Plus, nung nag-research ka, mababa yung vacancy rate niya. Ang average vacancy rate niya is only 10%. So, mas marami kang tenant dito sa Makati. Last but not the least is yung Las Piñas condo na nakita mo. Napakamura niya, 4 million lang as compared to the first 2 properties. Pero medyo marami kang kailangang gawin at gastusin para i-prepare yung unit. You will have expenses of up to 100,000 pesos na estimate mo para pagandahin, ayusin, probably buy a few furnitures to make the studio unit presentable. The average monthly rent in the area is only 20,000 pesos. Mas mura yung unit, pero mukhang mas mababa din yung pwede mong iparent sa kanya. Another concerning fact dito is yung na-research mo, ang average vacancy rate in the area is 35%. So, medyo madalas bakante yung unit. So, sa tingin mo, okay ba tong Las Piñas property to buy? Or do you just stick with the Makati or the Mandaluyong property? When faced with such a dilemma, I believe that the best approach is to come up with an objective strategy to analyze the properties. And that's what I will show you today. So, ito yung ating Excel table kung saan natin ipa-plot yung mga prices and numbers na na-research natin. So, we have our Mandaluyong, Makati, and Las Piñas properties here. And ilagay natin yung mga numbers kanina. Let's first start with Mandaluyong. So, this is the numbers ng Mandaluyong property. 7 million yung contract price, 40,000 yung expenses para mo ma-prepare for occupancy. So, ang total purchase cost mo will be 7.04 million. Ang average monthly rent is 30,000. Ang vacancy rate is 20%, meaning kung i-estimate natin, around 24,000 a month lang yung marireceive mo na monthly rent. The annual revenue is the average monthly rent times 12 months. And yung annual revenue, if you will consider the vacancy rate, is around 288,000 pesos. For the Mandaluyong property, the rental yield is 5.11%. Na-compute ito kasi yung annual revenue, which is 360,000 pesos, you divide that by the total purchase cost, which is 7.04 million. Meron tayong rental yield B. This is basically the annual revenue considering the vacancy rate. So, 288,000 pesos divided by 7.04 million, and that's 4.09%. Siyempre, mas mababa yung rental yield B kasi na-consider na dyan yung vacancy rate. Now, let's check yung Makati property. So, sa Makati, mas mahal siya, 9.5 million. pero mas mababa yung gastos mo para i-prepare siya for rentals. So, 9.52 million yung total na magiging gastos mo. Mas mataas yung average monthly rent and mas mababa yung vacancy rate. So, yung annual revenue mo for Makati will be higher than what you will earn sa annual revenue dun sa Mandaluyong property. However, if you check yung rental yield A, mas mataas pa rin yung rental yield A ng Mandaluyong. If you divide yung annual revenue na 480,000 by the total purchase cost which is 9.52, 5.04 lang yung rental yield. So kung yung rental yield lang ang consideration natin, the Mandaluyong property looks like a better choice. However, if we want to be more realistic, since yung Makati property will have lower vacancy rate, mas mataas naman ngayon yung rental yield B o yung rental yield ng property if we consider the vacancy rate at 4.54% compared to the 4.09% ng Mandaluyong. Pero hindi pa tayo tapos. We have to check yung Las Piñas property. For the Las Piñas property, the total contract price is 4,100,000 yung magagastos mo to prepare it for rental. The average monthly rent is 20,000 pesos. Mataas yung vacancy rate at 35%. Ang annual revenue ng Las Piñas property is 240,000 pesos. Pero mukhang bababa lang to 156,000 kasi mataas yung vacancy rate at 35%. If we are going to solely base it on the rental yield, surprisingly, yung Las Piñas property ang pinakamaganda. 5.85% which is the highest among the three. Pero if we are going to be realistic and consider the vacancy rate of the areas, yung Las Piñas property is the lowest, 3.8%. So malaking consideration talaga or malaking factor yung vacancy rate nung area. Kaya pagtiyagaan nyo na, i-research nyo. So based on these numbers and according to the traditional formula for rental yield, ang pinakamagandang property is yung Las Piñas. But personally, I want to be more realistic with my analysis. So, considering the vacancy rate that you have researched, ang best property is the Makati one. So, ano ba yung final decision natin? Para sa akin, take the property with the highest rental yield sa A and sa B, and now, you're able to narrow down your choices between two properties. So, it doesn't matter kung 3, 4, 5, 7 properties pa yung pinagpipilian mo. Para sa akin, once you do this analysis, just take the top 2 and then magkaroon tayo ng final showdown. So, after doing the rental yield calculations and you still can choose which property to buy, then start considering these factors. The first one is the target market. How ideal is your property to your target market? Is it near or accessible to the places they need to be? Yung balak nating bilhin ay isang studio unit. So probably ang target market natin dito ay mga young professionals, mga single young professionals. And tanungin natin, okay ba sa kanila mag-rent dito sa lugar na to, dito sa property na to? Saan ba usually nagtatrabaho ang mga young urban professionals ngayon? Malapit ba yung unit ko dun sa mga offices nila? Is your property competitive with others in the area? If it were you, would you choose to stay in your property? The second consideration is the property itself. What is the trend of property values in the area? What are the planned future developments? It is very much possible na after 4, 5, 10 years ay ibebenta mo na yung unit mo. So, syempre gusto natin maganda yung price appreciation ng property. Tingnan mo, ano ba yung trend doon sa area? And ano ba yung mga possible na future developments? Magkakaroon ba ng mall dito? Magkakaroon ba ng business district na malapit doon sa area mo, etc. Because not only will it drive the property values up, but it's also a way or a reason for you to increase the rental price of the unit. What are the risk factors in the area? Is it flood prone? How's the traffic? How safe is the neighborhood? Siyempre, these are also factors that tenants will consider before they rent your property. And lastly, you have to check on the reputation of the developer. Ano ba yung mga dati niyang projects? Mga matitibay ba yung mga properties niya? Maaayos pa ba hanggang ngayon yung mga luma niyang projects? May mga delays ba na nangyari doon sa mga previous projects pagdating sa turnover? May mga reklamo ba yung mga residents doon na laging bumabaha doon sa loob or low quality yung mga units? So, check on ano ba yung past performance ng developer sa mga previous projects niya. Additionally, you have to know ano ba yung magiging level of participation ng developer sa property management once na mabenta na lahat ng units dun sa project. May mga developers kasi na kapag nabenta na lahat ng unit, tinatransfer na nila dun sa mga owners, dun sa mga residents, yung management ng property na kayo na bahala dyan, kayo na mag-admin, kayo na bahala magpatakbo ng condo unit association, etc. May mga developers din na gusto nila sila pa rin yung may hawak nun. Wala namang tama, wala namang mali. It all depends on your preference. Mas gusto mo ba na ikaw kasama yung mga property owners ang magpapatakbo ng buong condo unit? Or gusto nyo yung real estate developer, sila pa rin yung magmamanage yung mga properties. Sila yung nag-handle ng cleaning, ng mga garbage collection, etc. So, that's something that you have to ask and research and think about if ano ba yung preference mo. Lastly, ang important na consideration if you still can't decide between two properties is yung mga personal factors. Which property gives the most return but with the least effect on your finances? Double check if you can truly afford it. Usually, dito na talaga yung time to check your finances na alin ba talaga dito yung kayang-kaya kong bilhin. Or kung binili ko to, paano maaapektuhan yung finances ko. And just by simulating that or even imagining ano yung magiging change sa lifestyle mo pag binili mo tong property na to, magkakaroon ka na ng gut feel kung alin dito sa dalawang properties na pinagpipilian mo ang parang mas okay ito sa akin. How easy will it be for you to manage and how efficient is the city's property office? Kasi kailangan mo i-register yan as a business. And how much are the property taxes? So, let's say that you live in Taguig. So, yung first consideration mo is yung Makati property. The second one is in Las Piñas. So, kung gusto mong ikaw yung magmamanage ng property mo and you're from Taguig, parang mas accessible sa'yo yung Makati. So, with the accessibility, yung Makati property wins this versus the Las Piñas property. But, mas mura yung Las Piñas property. So, less strain on your finances. So, that's another consideration. And that's how you choose kung ano ba yung magandang property na bilhin for rental income. Hopefully, yung last three factors will be able to help you to determine yung final decision, to make that final choice kung alin doon sa top 2 finalist ang dapat mong bilhin for your investment. And that's our video for today and I hope ay marami kayong natutunan, especially yung mga real estate investors na nanonood sa atin. Nako, good luck sa paghahanap ng mga rental properties. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/readytoberichyt, and follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/readytoberich. Hanggang sa susunod nating video, goodbye everyone, take care and stay safe.